Hi everyone, Rhonda Craig here again. Lesson number 39. I got a little windy on the other one. Still a bad hair day. I want to take up where we were, and I want to talk this time about the disciples and that became apostles and how they went out on the Great Commission to evangelize the world and tell them about Jesus and what happened to them. But first of all, I want to show you this list. I'll read it to you. The first one was Simon, who was called Peter, and his brother Andrew. Number 3 was James, the son of Zebedee, and his brother John. Philip, Bartholomew, Thomas, Matthew the tax collector, James the son of Alphaeus, and Thaddeus, who was probably known as Jude, Simon the Zealot, and Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him. And speaking of Judas Iscariot, they replaced him. They put forth two who had witnessed the resurrection, and they put forth two to the group, and they prayed about it and said, Lord, you know the hearts, you know who you need here, who needs to be at one of these. And they cast their lots, and it fell on Matthias. So he became the 12th one after Judas Iscariot. I always feel really bad for Judas Iscariot because he's made a bad decision. And he probably loved the Lord, but he wasn't fully committed. And he just made a really bad decision, and it cost him his life. He couldn't live with what he had done, so he committed suicide. But I don't know if you've ever thought about what happened to them. And the Bible didn't tell us what happened to them. So we have to go outside to the historians to find out what really happened to these apostles. So I just kind of want to, I have to read it to you because I certainly can't memorize them all. But I think you'll see they all but one were martyred for their faith. They all died because of their faith. And, if you ever get to thinking you can't live up to being in covenant with God Almighty, so little is required of us, and so much was required of them, and they gave their lives for it. And how they died. Tradition says that they probably cast lots and divided up their world as to who's going to go where to preach the gospel. And so Peter and Paul, Simon Peter and Paul, were both martyred in Rome about 66 A.D. Now see, that's some 30 years after the ascension of Jesus, the resurrection. And during the persecution under Emperor Nero, Paul was beheaded and Peter was crucified upside down because he said he wasn't worthy to die like Jesus did. So he asked to be crucified upside down. Andrew was his brother. He went to the land of the man-eaters. It's what is now known as the Soviet Union. And Christians there claim that him as the first to bring the gospel to their land. He also preached in Asia Minor and modern-day Turkey and Greece, where he is said to have been crucified. Ugh. Hard to read about all of that. The next one is Thomas, and it said he was probably most active in the area east of Syria. Tradition has him preaching as far east as India, where the ancient Marathoma Christians revere him as their founder. They claim that he died there when pierced through with the spears of 4 soldiers. Philip, he possibly had a powerful ministry in Carthage in North Africa and Asia Minor, where he converted the wife of a Roman proconsul, and in retaliation, the proconsul had Philip arrested and cruelly put to death. Don't know what they did to him. Matthew, the tax collector and writer of the gospel, ministered in Persia and Ethiopia. Some of the oldest reports say he was not martyred, while others say he was stabbed to death in Ethiopia. Bartholomew had a widespread ministry. Missionary travels attributed to him by tradition to India with Thomas and back to Armenia, Ethiopia, and South Arabia. There are various accounts of how he met his death as a martyr for the gospel. Just know that he was martyred. James, he was the son of Alphaeus and is one of at least 3 James referred to in the New Testament. There's some confusion as to which is which, but this James